Hey there, it's Martha, and if you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. This is my monthly check-in video. I think this one I'll call like melt and reset as far as a theme goes, as it is, just past the more than midway, right? July was really like the midway mark, but we're at the end of July now, or actually August. We're in August now, and it's time to share what happened in July, how I was doing as far as my wax goals are. I'll talk about my future goals and what that means for fall and winter for me, and have my AI tips as usual. And then I want to talk about some perfumes that I've been enjoying lately, because I didn't talk about perfumes last month. I have a yummy favorite from Costco that I'm going to share, and then also my health and wellness journey, and then kind of my fave melts for the month, and we'll wrap that up in this video. So if any of that stuff that sounds good to you, then stick around. All right, so let's get right into my wax stat sheets that I like to talk about. So my starting number was 806. I am currently at 664. My total outs have been 290, like if I wasn't bringing wax in, and then my ins have been 148. So this is an important one for me because it's just showing that, okay, more is going out than was coming in. So that's good. And like it also shows me what could have been, if I wasn't bringing in wax. 290 off of 806 is a much better number than 664, but that's okay. That is okay. Let's talk about my wax usage for July. So in July, I used 37, 33 came in. So I was nervous about the 33. I'm like, I don't know. It might be cutting it close, but it's still, I continue on this negative trend, which is good. By 4, but that's great. Now, number of wax, because it's all different sizes and stuff, isn't telling me the truest picture. The truest picture here is, did I use more ounces? Did I actually use more wax and not just, a bunch of samples in small sizes? And the answer is yes. I was down to a net of 23. So 118 ounces came in. That was part of the 33. And then ounces used was 141. So I'm down 23, negative 23 for the month. So that makes me happy. It means I'm doing good. Yay. Yay. And so as far as spending goes, in July, I spent $109, and that does not include taxes, and I don't include shipping costs. I just what was the cost of the bar is how I figure that out, or whatever wax I bought. And so I'm at $549.89. This is the first time with a lot of things in my life where I'm really looking at how much am I spending, like for dining out, for groceries, all that stuff, including wax. So I don't want to know what it was last year, but it was definitely more than that. It's probably double of that at this point last year. So I'm happy that I'm being mindful, and I've been really happy about my purchases in general. And so the reason I've do a low buy and not a no buy is for sustainability. And for me, in order to sustain something, it can't feel like a punishment. And that's just the way I work. It may not work for other people. But for me, in order for something to be sustainable, I can't feel like I'm denying myself something, like a no category, a no anything. And I'll get into that with my health and wellness too. And so for me, sustainability means you're still bringing in less than you're using, right? So I'm still moving toward my goal of having less at the end of this year than when I started. My goal kind of in the 400 range, 350. In all honesty, I think what I want to do next month or before the end of the year is really figure out what is realistic, like what is a real number. I haven't kind of crunched that. What is realistic in keeping X number of wax in spring and summer where I feel like I use less versus fall, winter, and then by vendor. If I really want to keep it to about 10 to 15 vendors, what would that mean? How much would be appropriate to have per vendor, right? So for example, if I go down here and look at Teddy Bees, having 102 102. I'm down to 102 now units of one vendor is not probably the right ratio if I only want to have like 400 pieces of wax. So sustainability just means that I can purchase here and there, but it needs to be mindful, and it needs to be, with that goal in mind that I'm still using more than I'm bringing in, which I did this month. So I'm really happy with that. And I do want to reiterate, this is my journey. I can't speak for anyone else, nor do I want to, nor do I try to. I do not judge anyone. We're all on different journeys. This is just where I am. But if you're here too, if you're here where you feel overwhelmed, you want to have less, you want to get to a point where you don't get stressed about the number, the amount of wax that you have and things that you have, then, we're working alongside each other here. And I hope that me or you holding me accountable, because this is what helps, really talking about this every month, is really what's been driving this, I think, for me, and really helping me, because I'm much better when I'm being held accountable versus I'm just, trying to hold myself accountable, I guess. So I hope this helps. And then for someone who's on a different trajectory, maybe you're just starting vendor wax, maybe you're just purchasing, enjoy it, love it, it's fun, it really is. But I would still say be mindful, so you don't end up like me, of feeling like it's going to take 2 years to undo the damage that I did for myself. What makes me feel happy. That and okay, so going on that, so we talked about my wax and where I'm at. I'm doing good and all of that. I do want to go into my goal, I think, for the next, from now, what is it? It's the next half, a little less than half the year, of bringing in no more than 40 bars. And the reason I chose that number, kind of out of the air, so I may readjust it, but I think, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. There's 5 months left. I've been trying to get down to about no more than 10 bars a month, on average. And I have so much fall and winter wax, more than any other kind of category as far as season goes. So I don't need more. I have enough to carry me through this year and probably next year. I hope that's not true, but it could be. So I don't need more wax. But as a Scentsy consultant, I do want to purchase the new fall scents and get a feel for them, smell them, be able to give you warm reviews. And I feel like that's part of my job as a Scentsy consultant. And then, but I think still do it in a manner that isn't like I'm buying everything. And at the end of the day, it's for me to melt, right? So I also don't want to buy things that I don't feel are my type. It's why I don't buy all the Bring Back My bars anymore, because I go realistically, I might like 5 or 7 of them and not all 25. So that mindfulness is still there. That mindfulness of how much I'm spending, how much I'm bringing in, that is still there. But I feel like the fall scents speak to me. So I did place an order for those. And so did the harvest scents, but like 3 out of 5 of them. And so this leads me to a thing, my little AI moment here. And I will do a deeper dive video on this because I don't know, I'm just into it and I think it's super fun. I just realized I'm still doing a screen record here. It's kind of fun. So I did set up AI to be like a money coach for me. And I'll go into the what's and stuff in a separate video. But in doing so, I said, hey, basically I have to say, hey, I'm thinking about buying this X, whatever it is. And, be that money coach for me, be that like objective, literally, you're my money coach. You're telling me yes or no, it's a good idea, not a good idea, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like when you call a friend and say, talk me off the ledge. It's kind of that thing, right? But I just can do it anytime and 24/7. And so I said, hey, I want to buy the 10 new scents and the 5 harvest scents. And I know I only have at the time it was thinking my goal was 30. I changed it to 40 bars. and it gave me a breakdown. It also knows my scent preferences because I use ChatGPT quite often for a lot of things. So it kind of knows what I like and what I don't like, and it's scary to know spot on. I told it I was only interested in like 3 out of the 5 scents from the Harvest collection, and it knew which ones. Like it said, verdict, most likely you like this scent. Don't get this one. You're not really into whatever it was. I don't know if I can find it really quickly here, but I thought, man, you nailed it. You nailed it. But it's going to take too long. So I'll go into more detail on that one. But I will say that its financial advisory breakdown was not to get the 5 Harvest bars. That 5 Harvest bars is, 12.5% of your remaining cap. You weren't excited about all 5 scents. There's no need for another bundle when you're already planning a selective Harvest and club ad strategy, meaning I can add it into like one and done and not get all 5 and just get the 3 that I want in a club. And then it also said, these don't seem like strong club or regret scents based on your profile. They're mostly fresh, earthy, and smoky, but none of them scream must-haves unless you're curating for a masculine woodsy vibe. So, and then it gives me a consultant content angle for my YouTube and all of that. But it just, said skipping. This is the smart move for now, adding 1 or 2 for your club for later. And then your wax cap, your goal of 40 stays fully intact. So I just think that sometimes it's super helpful just to have that sounding board. Like, it stopped me from buying some foundation that I was thinking of buying. I wanted to try the e.l.f. Soft Glam. It's not a new foundation by any means, but I just kind of like the more less is more type of foundation. And I have so much foundation that it said, no, you don't need it right now. Use this first. And I'm like, okay, you're right. And so it does help me in that way. So anyway, that was just a little AI moment there. But speaking of that, I did talk about wanting to retire and check with a financial advisor in July. I did. It was actually the last week of July. I did have my first meeting. It's going to be one of 4 meetings, so I have 3 more. It was just an introductory meeting. I did have a lot of homework, or pre-work before that meeting that took several hours to put together, but it was really knowing what our, kind of our income and expenses, last year's, or this year's, I guess, taxes, right? Our paperwork and all that. And then just all the stuff like your investments and it is very vulnerable, I will say, very vulnerable to kind of, show what's under the kimono, so to speak, of all the things and how you spend your money and all of that. But the goal of wanting to retire is so much stronger. It's like, that's worth it. And I want to know that I have a plan versus the uneasy feeling of not having a plan. Like I couldn't go into retirement not really fully having a plan. That's just me. That's the way that will make me feel at ease versus you think you got enough, but you're never quite sure. And that kind of, I don't do well with. So it was just a first meeting to talk about like, what are your goals? Like, would you want to buy it? Are you going to be thinking of getting another car within, this period of time? Travel goals, what's your discretionary spending, what's your, essential, like mortgage, rent, groceries, things like that. And then talk about like, what is a realistic goal on what you think you would live off of month to month in retirement when you don't have like work, like a paycheck coming in. Basically, the paycheck will be whatever I've saved up until this time. So 3 more meetings to go. So I'll talk about that journey at the, where I'm at next month's check-in. But it was good. It was a good feeling to go through that and, know that, there's a plan and it looks likely that I could retire in 7 months. 7 years. I wish I would say, wouldn't that be great? 7 months? No, in 7 years. So still a ways to go, but a lot better than 12. It was a lot better than 12. So that's that update. And let me see, was there something else I wanted to touch on? No, talked about sustainability and same thing with finances, right? Always buying within my means. That's always been a North Star goal for me. Okay, so let's get into July wax favorites. My favorite melts of July and my maybe some duds here. And you can share along. In fact, stop the video right now and tell me maybe what some of your favorites were. That really helped me out last time. I got Salad Queen something from Second and Spruce because of a favorite that Carol told me about here watching this video. So let me go into my little stat sheets here. Let's see what I melted. So I will, I don't think I mentioned the 33 that came in this month was Scentsy from the flash sale or heat sale. It's summer hot sale, and Second and Spruce. So those were the 33 that came in. And I put some Second and Spruce in my basket this month because I want to smell it. So for this month, I would say some favorites was for my friend's wax. It was the London Fog and Lemon Pound Cake. That blend, I just love the mix of those two, was fantastic. So I really love that one. I will say, let's see, from Knowles Farm Scents, I really enjoyed, I would say my favorite, it was Midnight Rain. I did use some Midnight Rain, and I think I still have some more of that. And I also liked Heavenly Whisper. It was a softer scent, but it is a, it is like that perfumey angel share. So that's really pretty from Knowles Farm Scents that I liked. Let's see what else here. Did I warm it? Melting Memories, Lemon Pound Cake. That was really good. And Golden Sands. I really liked both of those, both that I warmed in the bedroom, and they were good performers for me. So Melting Memories is a vendor that I do want to buy more of. And then I did enjoy some Clothes on the Line from Rose Girl samplers that I've warmed. And then I would say, I'll mention my dud. My dud was Pineapple Treats, and I did talk about that in last week's, or this past week's, what I've been melting video. And the other dud was from Teddy Bees, and that was Late Night Love Affair. Those were the biggest duds for the month. So I would say I had some good scents. I did like Fresh Summer Woods. That was a good one from Teddy Bees that I wore this week. And Lost in an Orange Grove was another one that I really enjoyed. And then as far as Scentsy goes, I don't know that I had like a, I mean, I love my Cocoa Lime and Crumb Top that I warm. I love that mix. And, but let me see what else. Was there anything else that I loved? I really enjoyed Linger. That was a Bring Back My Bar that I warmed this week or this month, I should say. And Seashore was super strong, but not like a favorite. That was just a really strong performer. But I'd say, yeah, those were kind of my wins, my favorites of the month and duds, and then some. Yeah, it was a great performer, Seashore, but not for me. So that's a little bit of my July favorites. Okay, I brought down my perfumes because it's a lot cooler down here than it is upstairs. Some perfumes that I want to purchase, or not purchase. Wait, what am I talking about? This is when my brain and my mouth just are not in tune. But I have some perfumes now that it's feeling warm, a little muggy, slightly muggy. I have been loving this one. It's a favorite of mine that I bought 2 years ago. It's called Sunset Hour from Goldfield and Banks. This is one that I purchased 2 years ago because I just love the scent. I've not warmed or used up a bunch. I had a dupe of this one that I used and finished off completely. So now I'm getting into the original, the OG. Love this scent. It's just, I get compliments on it. Like the first day I wore it this summer when I went to the grocery store, the cashier's like, "What are you wearing? It smells so good." It's just, to me, summer. It does have, I think, stone fruit and some other scents. I'll put the scent notes down here. Love that scent. And then this is from Target. This is the what's that company? But it's that company that has the different numbers. This one is Sparkling Hibiscus. It is a kind of a floral, but that sparkling scent does add like almost like some grapefruit or something in it. There's something citrusy but floral, and it's a very refreshing, great summer scent that I like. This one is from Kopari. This is Seychelles Sands. And this is on those days where I think I want to be on a vacation. And this one is like a body mist. And I do like this scent. And I do have been wearing that from time to time on the days that I feel like I need something tropical. And then this one is from Scandalous. This is Perfect Pair Body Mist. I only have the body mist. I'm just starting to use it. So you can see here, just starting to use it. But it is a scent that I really like. It's a very sweet pear. I love pear scents as far as fragrance goes. I had another one from, is it Juliet Has a Gun? It was like pear ink that I really loved, and I have a dupe of it as well. But you know, I can't rotate everything. So Perfect Pear, but this one's like my top favorite. I love this scent so much. This is fabulous. And I have more summer scents that I just haven't gotten into. And I will spray other things besides these, but these are kind of like the things that I want to use in August as far as perfumes go. All right, back upstairs. Now the air conditioning's on. So health and wellness. So here's the update this month. I did not lose any more weight, but I've kept off the 5 pounds. So that makes me happy. This month was a little more experimenting. I did talk to a nutritionist because I remembered, I kind of knew we had this benefit at work, but it's a menopause benefit. And I'm like, oh, let me see, I'll pay for all that. I've never talked to a nutritionist in my life before. And so we had a conversation, and so I'm like, okay, I'll experiment with some things that you're telling me. I don't think it's for me, and I think that just goes to know thyself. I've seen what works for me, and then also how my brain works, again, with that sustainability. So this is the no, not for me. I've already tested that what's that thing called? Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting doesn't necessarily change my weight. Like, I haven't lost any weight with intermittent fasting. So that was something I learned earlier. And then this time around, or when talking to the nutritionist this time, for the first time, she said that women, especially women, but this happens with men as well, as you wake up, your cortisol level rises, and that's also part of where your body's like keep this, right? Hold on to the weight. And so she suggested that, or just that women, that's her view, right, should eat within an hour and a half of waking up to bring down that cortisol level, to say, hey, I will feed you, don't worry, and just kind of all that stuff that your brain does apparently behind the scenes without you really realizing, all those things that are going on, like hormones and things inside. And I'm like, I'm just not hungry when I wake up. I'm just not. But I'm like, but I'll try it. And then that also throws out any intermittent fasting I was doing naturally, because I just don't wake up hungry. So I gave that a try. Yeah. I don't think it's just like I can't eat when I'm not hungry. And I guess I'm a very even-keeled person. I don't have a lot of anxiety. I don't have a lot of stress, at least that I'm aware of, right? That comes true, like I'm feeling anxious. It happens at moments, not that I don't ever feel stressed, but I don't wake up that way. And cortisol is a natural part of waking up and getting more alert and moving. So I don't think it like affects my weight in a negative way. I don't think. So I think I'm going to go back to just eating when I'm hungry, but I'm not thinking about necessarily, have I fasted long enough? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to throw that out the window. I'm going to eat when I'm hungry in the morning. And then the other part of why probably not more came off was this past week. It kind of set me back to bumping myself up to where I was, those 5 pounds. I actually would have said I actually did lose 7 pounds, but water weight and back up those 3 pounds. So that fluctuates back and forth. But I have seen that it truly is water weight, because most of the time I weigh myself in the morning. And then one time I weighed myself in the morning and I'm like, I knew it, all that salty food yesterday, I knew it. And I actually had breakfast before I went to shower. You'd think I'd weigh heavier, way more after eating breakfast. And then before I went and got in the shower later that morning, I actually had lost 2 pounds. And I'm like, how does that happen? So I'm like, that was water weight. My body had just let it go, right? So I think I'm less worried about those 3 pound fluctuations because they happen all the time. And I actually saw that. I don't think I've ever weighed well, not that I never have, but I've never weighed myself before breakfast and after and seen weight loss happening, right? So that was an interesting thing to know that it was that. I do have ChatGPT as my wellness coach as well, not just a money coach, but a wellness coach. So it does tell me like days where I've been naughty to reset. Like it'll say, hey, you can reset tomorrow. And I'm doing that today. Today is my reset day because all of this week I've eaten out 4 days out of the week. And it was work-related stuff for the most part. So I know that at this moment that I'm talking to you, that was it 3 pounds? Yeah, the 3 pounds up is really just salty, bad foods and some carbs. And I'm not too worried about it. I've seen myself continue to lose weight when I'm doing well and kind of following my own advice as more protein, more fiber, and that's helping. So even though I'm kind of the same as I was last month, I learned a lot this month, and I have seen evidence of me losing, like half a pound here or there, and I don't want to lose weight super fast. I want to lose it naturally and in a way that is like what's naturally good, like a healthy weight loss, and do it in a way like with wax that's sustainable. I don't want to deprive myself of not having bread or not having pastas or not having carbs. Like that's okay, or some cocktails here and there. Like for me, that's all okay as long as the majority of the time I am sticking with my healthy choices like Greek yogurt, with fruit, with chia seeds, my green smoothies, and protein first. And so I don't shame myself like that I was naughty this week. Like I didn't need a Mr. Softies, the Mr. Softies soft serve after dinner, and I didn't need to eat that dessert, which was delicious cheesecake. I enjoyed it, and I'm not here to shame myself. So I enjoyed the cheesecake. I loved it. I have no regrets that I ate cheesecake, or no regrets that I had some drinks and things like that. So it's been good. Like I said, has been a little more of experimenting and just it's more data points on I know what seems to be working for me is protein and fiber first. I've also, a little TMI, I've also never been as regular as I have been this past month, these past 5-6 weeks. Like my entire life, I think I was probably constipated 80% of the time without even realizing it. Not in a painful way, not like, oh, I definitely have those days where you feel like, okay, when am I going to go to the bathroom? But I mean, for me, normal, TMI, sorry, for me, normal was like going 3 days without going, like not a big deal. And now it's, I am keeping a wellness notebook now of everything I eat, what my energy level was, did I go walking, did I exercise, did I have a bowel movement, what my energy level was during the end of the day. And through that, I've been definitely seeing some things, right? And ChatGPT is helping me analyze, like putting 2 and 2 together. Hey, on days that you take your magnesium at night, you sleep much better, right? And days that I do, days that I don't, and it's all part of experimenting. So that has been like my health and wellness update. I am walking still. Again, the past week and a half was bad just because work was a lot of all day meetings and dinners. So very little time to do exercise and walking. So this past 2 weeks have not been that, but the first part of July, I was walking about about 4 times a week with my weighted vest. I do love my weighted vest. It helps with bone density. It feels good. Like if I can do that for 30 minutes, 30 minutes of my walk, it feels really good. So that has been something that I've been consistent, and that's where I see what's working. I know it's not anything new. I know it's not like some like new revelation, but it's all stuff we know, but living it and doing it and seeing what it's doing to me has been kind of my aha moment for the month. So that has been a really good thing with my health and wellness journey. So even though I didn't lose more weight, I didn't gain any, and I'm happy to have a lot of learnings that I can take into August. Okay, time to do my favorite of the week. So let me go grab it. Okay, I'm back with my favorite. So my favorite is from Costco. It's Pura Vida. And as a Costa Rican, Pura Vida is a Costa Rican saying that you'll know. You'll know if you're in Costa Rica, you will hear Pura Vida. But this is the flame grilled provincial vegetables from Costco. It's a mix of asparagus, mushrooms, yellow squash, orange carrots, red onion tossed in extra virgin olive oil, Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, and flame grilled to perfection. The reason this is a favorite of mine is because I'm not great at eating vegetables. And when I do buy vegetables, when you're cooking pretty much for one person, I have a lot of food waste, and I hate food waste. I hate that I'm like throwing out half a cucumber or some carrots or, whatever, fruit too. So the fact that it's frozen and I could I have vegetables and it's going to last a long time in my freezer, and they taste good. They're still crunchy. Like the asparagus is still crunchy. I guess it would depend on how long you saute it, but if you follow the instructions, things are still crunchy on the stovetop. I got some salmon, and ChatGPT is also my, like I said, wellness fitness coach. I think it gives me suggestions for food to eat, and it knows what's in my pantry because I told it, and it knows when I went to Costco, I took a picture of everything I bought at Costco, and I'm like, add this to the pantry list. So when it's telling me like make today a reset day, because I was eating a lot of not the good stuff, right, this week, just eating out and all that stuff. So today being a reset day, it knows I have spinach and eggs and peppers and all kinds of stuff. So today's reset. It gave me a reset diet today, or a reset meal plan today, was to have eggs with like a scramble, right? With spinach and whatever vegetables I had, and some Polska sausage that I had, and I'm still full. Being that it is almost 5 hours since I ate breakfast, I'm still full by having such a big, healthy breakfast. And so for my reset meal tonight is having this with some salmon that I have, and I love salmon. So I really like that. It tastes good, and I don't feel like I'm going to have food waste because it's frozen, and I can pull out mixed vegetables when I feel like I need to be good. So I really like that. Let me know if you have some Costco favorites, because I found this from watching Costco YouTube videos, and I forget his name, but there's a guy that goes around and like, this is the good stuff to buy and blah, blah, blah. And so it made me want to go to Costco and buy some things like that. So I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I think that's it. So coming up in my channel, I have my books. I read 6 books, I think. It was 6 books in July, so I'll do that review. I have my Scentsy flash sale haul to do, and more stuff coming up, probably a Scentsy Club edit video now that we know what the Scentsy bars are that are coming back and what's not. So I will do that. So lots to come on my channel this month. So if you are new here and this sounds interesting, and you stuck around to the very end, thank you so much. Consider subscribing to my channel. It helps other people find my channel. And if you like this video in general, new or old viewer, please consider giving me a thumbs up. That also helps. Any interaction, saying hello, all of that stuff. Comments helps. YouTube helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I really, really appreciate it so much. So if you want to see more content like this, then give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.